Hey, welcome to BCB Live. We're the safest station in the nation. Right here, baby, it's BCB Live. We're women in trucking. Drive safe, Dave.
Hello, everybody. I'm here. I'm excited. I hope you're excited as well. And we have, of course, our guests, our panel, the people we actually came to talk to today. We've got Heather, and we also have Lindsey. How are y'all doing today?
Hey, doing great. I mean, this is full of energy, full of women.
1,700.
1,700.
Wow.
There's a lot of us here, that's for darn sure.
It is so fun.
Yes, 100% agree with that. I've already met some absolutely astounding women.
And you know, and we've already had some great conversation in there. We had the TXTA, we had Robin Hutchinson on there as well, the administrator for the FMCSA. Big conversation. Let's just go about it. Truck parking. Another one is driver shortage. Let's just talk driver shortage for a second. Is there a driver shortage? I mean, how do we have a driver shortage if there's no freight, right? I mean, talk to me about the driver shortage.
Well, so there is a driver shortage in that there are so many open positions. Actually, drivers is the #1 position across the country for employment, job opportunities. So yes, there's a driver shortage.
I definitely agree that there's a driver shortage. I'm not so sure that there's a shortage of people who have their CDLs. I think our issue is keeping people in transportation and not letting CDL holders leave transportation. So I agree there's a driver shortage, but I think it's more there's a lot of people with CDLs. There's plenty to fill the roles that are here and available. Well, not necessarily replace the ones that are leaving the industry for sure. We definitely need to keep in line with the next generation, but I think that there is a little bit of a driver shortage and mainly just bringing them back to the industry.
You know, and we talk about that, but I'll tell you, we talk about driver shortage, but you have massive turnovers. We're talking about high percentages. We're not talking about 10% or 20%. Some as high as what, 85, 100%. 100% turnover.
No. A lot of companies are happy with 100%. You give me 100% turnover, that chalk that down as a victory, but that's not a good thing, right?
I 100% agree with that. Yeah, we've had carriers that have onboarded with us that when they started with us, they're 160%. That's the highest percentage of turnover I have ever seen. And they didn't realize that that was a problem. Which is crazy to me. That's a lot of money to replace those drivers.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Where is everybody?
But you know what? When you talk about the driver turnover, let's just face it, we have an aging group of drivers, right? We have an aging group of drivers of 55 years and older, and the big problem maybe not be today, you know, just today, but who's going to replace them? Lindsey, what are you seeing? I mean, how are we going to replace these 55-year-old drivers or older, you know, in our industry? How are we going to do that?
Well, it's all about getting the next generation into our industry. Right now, they have choices. Do they want to go and to be an HVAC or an electrician? Or what if we could introduce them to trucking and becoming a professional driver? And that's what we at the Next Generation Trucking Association are trying to do. We're trying to create these programs so high school students, instead of going to, say, shop class, they're going to professional driving class, where they're learning on a driver simulator. We've got to start getting young people interested and trained in our careers.
But we're kind of at a disadvantage. When you talk about a high school student, you're already at a little bit of a disadvantage because technically they can't really go over the road until they're 21, right? I mean, they can't really do those kinds of jobs that we're talking about here doing when they're 18 years old. I mean, it's kind of makes it a little bit difficult. I know there's programs out there. I know that we're working to better them, but really that to an 18-year-old. I'm just curious, how do you sell that to an 18-year-old?
Well, they are going to be able to drive intrastate, and they have to hold on. If they want to go over the road, they're going to get that experience, and they're going to hopefully have a safe driving record, and then really the world is their oyster on what they want to do when they turn 21 to go over the road. And I can tell you, these young people want to see the country. Yeah. So when they turn 21, they're out the door because they want to explore while they're young and see what's out there.
Of course, and I think that Lindsey actually does a great job with her association of showing high school students how they can progress and be prepared so that when they're 21, they can advance their career into that next level of going over the road.
You know, as we talk about it, here we are, we're at Women in Trucking, and I think it's important that we focus on and we talk about getting more diversity, more women in the truck, in that driver program in the beginning, because, I mean, honestly, how many girls are out there really thinking about being truck drivers at 17 years old when they should be, right? When they really should be thinking, how do we do that?
It's exposure and exposing young girls to that. Women in trucking, they have a Girl Scout patch. It's a supply chain trucking patch. And so getting those programs across the country. We were at FFA, the Future Farmers of America, a couple weeks ago. 65,000 students at that convention. Over half of them were female. I talked to 16-year-olds that drive trucks on their parents' farm. Their parents said, we want you to learn how to drive a truck, and they were driving a truck. It was amazing.
No, and I think that's the key, right? I mean, what are you seeing in general? Let's take FA out of it. Are the women, are the girls, are they asking about driving a truck, or are they worried about that truck parking? We heard about it today with Hutchins. Yeah, do they feel safe? Are the trucking companies, are they doing the right things to make sure that they keep those drivers in here? What are you hearing from the female truck drivers out there, or the younger ones?
Yeah, so something that I've seen be a problem with a lot of advertising that goes towards putting people into the industry is there's not a lot of women in advertising for truck driving positions. So immediately you have a disadvantage right there, because if we don't see ourselves in that position, we don't think that we're going to be fit for that position, or possibly we think that it's going to be male dominated and that we're going to have just not be treated the same as a man would be, right? That we're going to be disadvantaged immediately off the get-go. So I think that advertising towards women in transportation and actually putting that in a foothold and really making it a selection and really being intentional with your advertising is a large part of what's going to help get women into trucking.
You know, we have a lot of women here, drivers, and a lot of showcase drivers and talented, awesome drivers that are willing to be able to speak out. We should focus on, right, making sure there are heroes in advertising, right?
Influencer marketing, exactly.
Right, I mean, you got to have heroes out there, just like you're talking about. I tell you what, I've been talking to, I saw a Walmart team member, and I heard her talking over here. Fascinating, she's awesome, you know, great driver. You can't be on that team and not be awesome. And I tell you what, we all had heroes. I think we need more women heroes, right?
I 100% agree with that. And I think that companies can use those women that are on their fleet and promote them as brand ambassadors, as influencers, because influencer marketing, especially in our younger generation, is absolutely huge. And traditional marketing like Google and Facebook just doesn't cut it anymore. You have to get out there. You have to create people that are like the people that you're trying to hire, i.e. women, and make them out to be heroes and show how their career has helped them and how being in trucking has helped them get to where they want to be with their personal goals as well.
How do we get the word out then? Really, honestly. Go ahead, Rick.
Hold on. We got like 2 minutes left, but Lindsey, I'm going to have you jump into this right here. We heard it mentioned a few times out there today in the conference already, the word collaboration, working together. We as an industry, we can't be afraid, right, to share information, to make one another better. When you see this women in trucking out here, you see all these companies, it's people getting together, hopefully to make the industry better. What can we do better, though, to really attack this driver shortage, to attack the, replacing this retiring group by more collaboration within the industry?
I think everybody should join the Next Generation in Trucking Association and help us on our mission. We are out to reach young people and steer them towards careers in trucking, and we are out to create programs so they can get their CDL while they're a senior in high school. It is about collaborating as an industry, and that's why we created the Next Generation in Trucking. We have an industry-wide problem. We're trying to create an industry-wide solution. We're partnered with a lot of carriers, allied members. We're partnered with a lot of associations, and we are trying to get out there and make a difference.
Yeah, I agree. Joining Lindsey and the Next Generation in Trucking is a huge step towards that. Joining women in trucking and actually engaging and actually going the next step. Not just become a member, but actually engage, ask where they need help and what we can help in order to help their mission go further.
Heather, Lindsey, Dave, I know you're getting ready to talk. We got to cut it off. We have more people coming on BCB Live. Hey, thank you so much for being on the show. I really do. It's it really means a lot to me personally, to Drive Safe Dave, and to our listeners out there that need to hear what's going on in our industry. Thank you for speaking up. Thank you for being part of Women in Trucking. Man, what is your must, before we go, what's your must-do thing today at Women in Trucking? Anything?
Well, you know, we're having a motorcycle night tonight,
Bam!
so we're going to have some fun tonight.
No
Yeah.
driving though after this night right here, right? Uber home, find a way home.
We're going to wear our leathers tonight. We're going to wear leathers
Lots
tonight.
of fun.
All right, Dave, we got our matching BCB Live chaps. We'll be going on that today. Yeah,
Safety colors. We got our safety
colors.
colors
All
on.
right.
Hey, we'll be back in just a minute. This is BCB Live, and we're the safest station in the nation.